The psychosomatic nature of the four humors. The doctrine of the four humors forms the basis of all notions of psychosomatic or mind-body medicine in Greek medicine. The four humors, besides being gross physical entities, also exist on a subtle level as semi-gaseous vapors, which can even affect the functioning of the mind and spirit. References to the subtle psychosomatic influences of the four humors can be found in medieval and Renaissance literature in the works of writers like William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, and Ben Jonson. In their day, Greek or Greco-Arabic medicine formed the basis of mainstream medical practice. The psychosomatic influences of the four humors are evident in the very definitions of the words sanguine, phlegmatic, choleric, and melancholic. They are also evident from various sayings that have crept into our everyday language. The word sanguine means cheerful, confident, optimistic. Blood is the best and richest of all the four humors, the good stuff, and drinking it is heady and intoxicating, like drinking fine wine. Blood, or the sanguine humor, thus also inspires a mood of sensuality and indulgence, which is common in young people and young lovers. The healthy sanguine complexion is blushing or rosy, and so we say, in the pink. The word phlegmatic means slow, stolid, sluggish, or lethargic. It also means impassive or unemotional. Excess phlegm often accumulates in the head and brain, making one groggy and dulling one's thoughts, perceptions, and reactions. The phlegmatic temperament is considered to be calm, stable, good-natured, and easygoing. The word choleric means angry, irritable, impatient, or bad-tempered. This is due to the hot, caustic, irritating nature of yellow bile. Choleric vapors rising to the head also inspire feelings of boldness and contentiousness. To have the pure, unmitigated gall to do something totally outrageous or audacious is a common expression. The word melancholic is synonymous with feeling blue or having a depressed mood. It also means being too prudent, worrisome, or pensive. The retentive virtue of black bile also inspires moods of suspicion, miserliness, and misogyny. The melancholic humor is contrary to the sanguine in all its basic qualities. And so, if a sanguine mood means feeling up, a melancholic mood means feeling down. Pathological expressions of the four humors. Feelings of intense lust or passion were thought to arise from aggravations of blood or the sanguine humor. And so we have the expression purple passion, because purple is the color of blood when it's stagnant or congested. Abnormal or morbid forms of yellow bile or the choleric humor are various shades of green in color. One can see this in the liver of a diseased cow. And so we have the expression green with envy, because envy was a negative emotion thought to arise from morbid perversions of the choleric humor. Seeing things with a jaundiced eye also has a similar meaning, to see things from a jealous or covetous perspective. Morbid imaginings of ill health or disease were thought to arise from the influence of the melancholic humor, and one of the most common places for excessive melancholy to accumulate is in the hypochondriac region beneath the lower ribs, with morbid feelings of vague pain, distension, or discomfort. And so, a hypochondriac is someone who imagines or worries himself ill with morbid melancholy thoughts. The four humors in Unani Tib, or Greco-Arabic medicine. Unani Tib, or Greco-Arabic medicine, has its own names for the four humors. Blood, or the sanguine humor, is dum. Phlegm, or the phlegmatic humor, is balgam. Yellow bile, or the choleric humor, is safra. Black bile, or the melancholic humor, is sauda. The four humors and Ayurveda. Ayurveda, the traditional medicine of India, is famous for its concept of three doshas, or pathophysiological principles, which roughly correspond to the humors of Greek medicine. But while Greek medicine has four humors, Ayurveda has only three doshas. According to their basic nature and qualities, as well as the symptom patterns associated with their excess or aggravation, the following correspondences can be drawn between the Ayurvedic doshas and the Greek humors. Kapha corresponds to the phlegmatic humor. Pitta corresponds to the choleric humor. Vata corresponds to the melancholic humor. The fourth humor, blood, or the sanguine humor, has no correspondence with any of the Ayurvedic doshas. That's because the word dosha literally means fault, and blood is the most inherently healthy, balanced humor. In Ayurvedic medicine, blood is called Rakta Dhatu and is one of the 7 dhatus or tissue types. The plasma and serous fluids of the phlegmatic humor would correspond with Ayurveda's Rasa Dhatu, another one of the 7 dhatus or tissue types. Because the moist, flourishing, phlegmatic and sanguine humors are the foundation of all bodily nutrition and growth, they are the 2 basic or primal dhatus or tissue types in Ayurveda, from which all the other tissues are derived. The Ayurvedic sage Sushruta, who wrote the Sushruta Samhita, an ancient Ayurvedic treatise on medicine and surgery, wrote that Rakta Dhatu, or blood, could be considered as a 4th dosha. That would bring the Greek and Ayurvedic systems into alignment. Tibetan medicine shares a lot in common with Ayurveda and is based on 3 pathophysiological principles. Wind, which corresponds to Vata, or the nervous, melancholic humor. Bile, which corresponds to Pitta, or the choleric humor, which is yellow bile. Phlegm, which corresponds to Kapha, or the phlegmatic humor. The 4 humors and Chinese medicine. The 4 humors also have their rough correspondences within traditional Chinese medicine, which also deals with vital fluids and principles. Blood, or the sanguine humor, is called shui. Phlegm, or the mucus fluids of the phlegmatic humor, is called tan. The deeper serous fluids of the phlegmatic humor are called body fluids, or jin ye. Yellow bile, or the choleric humor, is called dan, which is also the name of the gallbladder, the storage receptacle for yellow bile. Black bile, having no clear-cut correspondence in the Chinese system, most closely corresponds to wind, feng, in its pathological manifestations. Black bile's retentive virtue is embodied in the centering, retentive function of the earth element and its principal organ, the spleen, which Greek medicine considers to be the storage receptacle for black bile. Humoral medicine and history. Throughout most of man's history, humoral concepts of medicine have been widespread. Humoral concepts of medicine only began to decline with the advent of modern medicine in the 19th century. As we have seen, most of the world's traditional medical systems are humorally based. Modern physiology, nutrition, and biochemistry are extremely complex. There are hundreds of nutrients, hormones, and enzymes, and a vast myriad of intricate metabolic pathways within the human body. Humoral concepts of medicine can be seen as a kind of metabolic shorthand that enables the traditional physician to get a holistic overview of the imbalance or pathology and the therapeutic means for correcting it. The four humors of Greek medicine provide a simple, elegant, and accessible model of human metabolism, physiology, and pathology. This is David Osborne. I hope you have enjoyed this video about the four humors. For more information on this and other subjects pertaining to Greek medicine, please visit my website, www.greekmedicine.net.